Good morning, Miss Angelina.
Good morning, Queen Twanda.
What's
Today,
happening?
it's always a good day, right? Twanda, if we get together for Tuesday on the tips one more time and start matching, I'm going to think we've been chatting.
Oh, how funny.
I mean,
I
it's
didn't
like,
even notice that. We
um,
always have the same colors on, both you and I and your hubby.
and hubby too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a collaboration.
There you What a perfect title for Tuesday's topic.
Tuesday topic. I'm ready to share tips and hear tips. We have some great guests. Thank you so much for bringing us together. You want to take over or
Yes.
let's bring them in?
Well, you know what? Before we bring them in, I'm going to share with you this video. And this video is a collaboration. And it's a calendar that I had the pleasure of putting together. And so let's show the calendar, and then I'm going to bring our special guest in. Woo! All right.
That is fabulous. I have my calendar behind me. And so
do I.
Yes, I see Mother Queen B on that calendar for March.
Yes.
National Business Month or Women's Day. All month though.
All month.
Mimms, I just love your name. It feels good in my mouth. You are the queen. And I appreciate you here today.
Good morning, Dr. Mimms.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. You look fabulous as always.
Thank you.
As always.
Okay, let's bring a couple more people in.
Good morning.
There you see Bynum in the house.
Yay!
Hello, it was an honor to be here.
It wasn't hard. Thank you. How can it be hard to get up and be with a bunch of beautiful women? Let's keep going. We got Miss Carol Procter.
Carol Procter Peoples Procter.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All righty. And the one and only Miss Josephine Howell in the house.
Good morning.
Oh. Ladies, welcome to Live with the Danielle Bundy team, featuring Miss Angelina. I thank you, Angelina, for inviting everybody on this morning.
Thank you all for being here.
As you guys just saw, we showed a fabulous calendar called the Collaborators, and these are a few of the women who are part of the collaboration. So we just wanted to introduce you to them in honor of Women's History Month. So Angelina, take it away.
So ladies, I appreciate your presence. I have not had enough time with you, and I'm just grateful that you would be here. And it was fun to be a part of a project that included such dynamic women. I wanted to just take a few minutes. Today's our Tuesday topics. We do Tuesday tips. And I'm here today as a collaborator and also as a research paralegal. So we sometimes wear multiple hats, and I'm just honored to be amongst good company. I wanted to ask you ladies a few questions I'd like you to share with the public, but my biggest piece is that you're all service individuals. You all serve in the community and inspire others. And I want to know, how did that happen? Who inspired you? Who made you or instrumental in making you who you are today? Who wants to share first?
Well,
at once.
Let's start with Dr. Mimms.
Dr. Mimms, who would have been an inspirational person for you? You've inspired all of us.
Yes.
Who? Share that.
Who has it? Well, I think I heard as I was putting on my pants that you didn't want to say family members, but I have to say family members. My mother, and I think all of us could say that. And along the way, different pieces of different parts of people inspired me. Uh, After I got into education, which was in 1950, um, Lady Dr. Marie Fielder out of California, the Fielding Institute is named after her, uh, encouraged me a great deal. And I give a lot of uh, honor to her for encouraging my ideas and uh, telling me, always patting me on the back and saying, I think that idea was a very good one. I suppose very bold. But my mother and father both uh, were my aspiration. I was born in the South in very early 20s, many years ago, and it to be born in the South and come through it, it takes your parents. I think it was my mother and father.
And Dr. Mimms, you said 1920s.
Eight.
You just recently celebrated your 93rd birthday.
Yes.
And so congratulations and happy
Thank you.
birthday again.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yes. So who's next? Who else wants to answer that next? Josephine?
So, first off, hey everybody. When it comes to my life, there is a threefold. Spiritually, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost has influenced me. My belief in Christ has, because it grounds me to where my jumping board is at. That's where I start at. The human beings that have influenced my life have been my great grandmother. I'll speak her name, Elizabeth Bowles. My auntie, fierce woman, Gloria Spencer, and my mother. And not that there weren't men who influenced me, but I'm a female.
Mm-hmm.
So I draw from females.
That's right. Speak the truth.
And the females in my life, I watched them maneuver in life. Even when I didn't understand what they were maneuvering, I watched them face everything. And
That's right.
And still cook, clean, pick up, mentor, lend, get their hands dirty, then dress like queens and walk out and then like they was
Come on now. That's it. That's exactly what it is.
And the crazy part is that I know they cried. I simply never saw them cry. Never. I never saw them break down. And as I grew older, they explained to me, what do you mean we didn't break down? I said, I never saw. She said that was just our tradition. We didn't share all that. We had to just keep going. But I watched them, and my auntie would move heaven and earth if it was in her power to make sure that I used every gift God gave me. My great grandmother would tell me how to hold myself in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And not change who I was. She just say, no, that one you got to put over here. She never said I just didn't fit. She just said there's a special place for this one over here. And then my mother did the hard thing. She said no when everybody said yes. She She closed doors when everybody else was trying to open them. She opened up doors when I was scared to walk through. And she refined me. Not that. You hold that for later. Take this right here. And then she showed me what purging does for a human being. She showed me that it wasn't a bad thing when you're corrected. It's actually love. And I didn't always get that.
That's right.
And then the third part is that me help define me. My choices. Some good, some not so good. Experience help define me, help grow me, help strengthen me, help change me. Life itself. You can have a whole bunch of knowledge, but if you don't use that knowledge, if that knowledge can't be put into action, then you're just sitting there collecting dust. And it's nice, you know something, but you ain't putting it to the test. So I don't put a whole lot to the test.
Right on.
I get that. I totally receive everything you've said, because we never know who's watching and how we're inspiring them. You know, so, you know, of course, our mothers and our elders, but we had so many mothers growing up, you know, the neighbors couldn't catch you, you know, or they not have to catch you, honey. The ladies in the church, you know, I was sharing before we went live that Dr. Mimms changed my whole life. My son struggled and I didn't even know her, never met her. Well, at her birthday, but you know, and she inspired me. And after that incident, I just felt like I can make it. I can move on and help someone else. I can pull another queen forward, you know, so I get that. Thank you for sharing. Who's next? Vania? Carol?
Yes, I can go next. Yeah, it's interesting when you first talked about not focusing in on family members, and I thought I would probably be the only one who did, but I have to say really twofold inspirations for me in terms of women in my life, or my mother and my godmother. And I say that not just because she's my mother, but I say that because of the example that she set for me. She was a businesswoman. She sold Mary Kay Cosmetics. She had 6 children. It's amazing what they were able to do with so many. And she just really, sometimes it was tough love, but she set those high expectations. And she spoke into existence my success. When I had any challenges, when I had music competitions, when I had tests, when I walked out the door, she spoke the positivity. Absolutely. I came up with what we call that Mary Kay enthusiasm, because after she started Mary Kay, it's all about positivity, growth for women. And so I came up under that. And I appreciated that. And she had my back. We didn't have the most money, but she sold at Mary Kay, and whatever it was that we needed, I did band, I did junior miss, I did track, I did so many things to help build my character, and she was right behind me every step of the way, making sure that I had what I needed, but also being that example of how you reach back and help others. Because she was not only active in my life, but she was active in the lives of our extended family. And my dad was a pharmacist. He had a drugstore. She helped out in some areas in terms of reaching out to people. And anywhere she could help someone, she did. She gave, she bought, she helped, she cooked. And that's where I believe I really get that philanthropic spirit from. Each one reach one, each one teach one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That was something that was just demonstrated, and the love that she has for others. And she's not perfect. She's perfectly imperfect. And she showed me how because you have to acknowledge, right? Nobody's perfect, but we acknowledge and we give ourselves grace as we extend grace to others.
Absolutely. So, the character that we face, our character is built by our imperfections, right? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Carol, you're gonna speak before Twanda, or you're gonna bring up the end?
I'll go ahead. Save Twanda for last because she is the queen. She's junior queen. Dr. Mimms is in the room. That's right. I just want to say I wouldn't be here today acknowledging all of you all. I'm very honored to be amongst you without my mama, Gertrude Peoples. And like the rest of you, it was the women before her too. I was named after Curfew Carol Peoples, Virginia Keith. I'm Carol, Virginia. And my mom, I would be remiss if I didn't bring her up. And I come from a long line of givers, problem solvers, fierceness, strong, follow through, loving, obstacle slayers.
That's a good one.
We always have room, as my grandma would say, just throw another cup of water. There's always something to eat. That can be spread.
That part.
That's right. No job too small, no job above my head, and I can make something out of nothing. And I get that from my family. And many women outside of the family. I got into real estate because of Jada Pettigrew. Oh, excuse me, Berto.
Oh, yeah, that's my sister. Rhinestone
yeah.
Sister.
And she saw something in me and encouraged me to get my license. And I was at the Postal Service at the time and decided to get my license while I was there. And when I retired, I started a full-time real estate business. But while at the Postal Service, that's where I got to meet my Twanda. And we did some collaborating. And may I just say this about her? She sees the best in people. And there was some slithery, slithing folk, and she could bring out the best in them.
Don't go there.
We did, what was it, Festival Tunjata together?
Yes.
And folks could be, let's just say, a little trifling. She would find their non-trifling part and bring it out. And she is amazing that way.
Yes, she is. She is.
Well, thank you.
She brings the best out of everyone and never gives up on people. Was people like, hang them at the stake. She's like, no, not before they do the job they're supposed to do. So
she makes her own rules.
Okay. And don't tell her no.
Yeah.
And she would get on the cross for Dr. Mimms. Okay. She loves Dr. Mimms, makes sure that we all get to have a piece of her. I don't know if you heard my song to you. It was the best of all of them. I have to say. Anyway, I love all of you.
I was listening to her song.
I love my Josephine. I love my Angelina. And I'm loving, it's your name, Vania? Vania. I know that we will be collaborating in some way. So that I got off the subject, but I just hope you got the essence of who Carol Peoples Procter, the People's Choice is. I'm all those women you named, all the women I named, including all of you.
Girl, Carol, I love that. I love that. You know what? You could tell I've been working with Carol because we asked her a question and she got her marketing tip in. Carol Procter's People's Choice. We didn't ask her business name, but that's how you do it, girl. You get it all in. Get it all in. Right on. Well, I guess it's my turn.
It's your turn.
So, wow, who's inspired me? And the list is long. Just like all of you, I come from a phenomenal family. We are known as the Smith family. And if you get to be a Smith, honey, right on. The Smith family is absolutely dynamic. And it's not just the women in our family are always amazing, but our men are pretty strong as well. So that's a great thing. But my great grandmother, her name was Rosalie Deco Smith, and believe it or not, she had her eighth child, and my grandfather had passed away before the eighth child was born. And most of you know that aunt. That's my aunt Asantua. So imagine raising kids, losing a husband, raising grandkids. My grandmother, we also had another potato in the pot. You would always go by our house. There was always food on the stove. For broke people, we got to eat. We never had to worry that there was no food. And so I don't know where the money came from, but it came. Then you look at my mother. People don't realize that my mother and my aunt Asantua were actually sister-in-laws. They thought they were sisters because in my family, that's once you're in, you're in. In-law, actually, no, my mom would joke and call them outlaws, but she just would be lovingly joking and call them that. But once you're in, you're in. And my mother was grit on top of grit. She wasn't what you would consider school educated, but she was one of the smartest women I knew. She did not graduate from high school, but I'm telling you, she was brilliant amongst brilliance. And what she made me appreciate is that while education is important, life is important, and understanding how to live is important. And she did that with every essence of who she was. And I think a lot of who I am is because of her. I have had times where I share stories about her with Dr. Mimms, and Dr. Mimms said, "Oh no, that's her. That's your mama coming through you." Because my mom was, she was nouveau before it was in. She did not raise her daughters differently than her sons. We were all equal. You know, my dad tried to tell my sister she had to come in earlier than my brother. And my sister's like, "Oh, no, I'm not. He's younger than I am. You know, if I got to come in, he's coming in." So we just grew up with that sense of family and that belief that we could accomplish everything and anything. My dad told us we were stars. Well, if you're a star, you can reach for the sky. That's all you know. I went to,
yeah.
Oh, you know, I lived with my aunt Asantua. You know, yeah, Asantua actually named me when I was born. She and my dad were really good friends, and she after my grandfather had passed away, so my dad was the oldest son, and so he was the male figure in her life, and she got to name me Twanda Michelle. And then for me to end up living with her years later and her being here in Arizona with me, we just are together at the hip, as I guess we're meant to be. But she just, you know, we just know we couldn't bring home a B. You had to bring home A's. If you brought home a B in my family, you had to explain it. Explain why.
Yeah. Why is that acceptable?
Yeah, it's not acceptable. You could not bring home a B. A B meant you were not doing your best. Okay. So go back there and do better. So, you know, we have high standards. So I am blessed. I am blessed that Dr. Mimms, you came into my life very early. My son was at Zion Prep Academy, which was one of the best schools ever, not just in Seattle, ever. And you know, just to be at the tutelage of a Dr. Mimms, it just grows you into who you're supposed to be, regardless of what you thought you were supposed to be. She shifts you. She challenges you. She challenges me more than others, I believe. But I guess that's what they say is love. Is that right? Is that love, Dr. Mimms? She challenges me like nobody else. She stretches me. So when you guys feel my love and you feel my patience, it's great because Dr. Mimms doesn't see that as much. And she tells me, get back on the train, be patient, be kinder to people, understand where they are coming from and their difficulties. And yes, Festival Sunjata Carol, That was the best contract I ever had because you had to deal with the people. You had to meet them where they were. No ifs, no buts. And I'm telling you, I could squeeze juice out of the driest person in the group. And it was important because once you feel successful, then the next year you're just going to be better and better and better every year. So that's kind of been my philosophy in life. And I'm glad that I was able to put this collaborators calendar together at the 10th hour because I wanted people to experience what I experience. And you are just a sampling of what I experience every day. This is work for me. How y'all like that? This is work for me.
The best work.
Yes. This.
Twanda is a meet you where you are specialist.
Girl, I keep trying to refine myself. I moved to Phoenix 7 years ago. And so I've been virtual before COVID. And so now everybody understands how you can live in Phoenix and work in Seattle. And so, but then when it came to Phoenix, I'm like, I started meeting some folks and getting out there. And then I thought, they want to know, well, do you have a resume? Do you have a vitae? I'm like, can you just Google me? And so it's not the same, it's not quite the same love that I have in Seattle. And I'm known for doing the work in Seattle. So, so Phoenix is where I live. Seattle is where I work. Seattle is still home for me.
Home is where the heart is.
That's right. Do you all have you all experienced any kind of gender bias in your industries? Have you felt like there's been a bias? I'm guessing that we've hit the ceiling and continue to climb, but do you still experience it today? Does anyone have anything to share about that?
Yes. But what's I guess but isn't what I want to say. Yes, however, because I was trained to be an obstacle slayer, pay attention to that. I still got to do what I got to do, and I'm going to figure a way around it. Mm-hmm. So I really don't focus on that. I experienced it, of course, in the Postal Service, moving up in the ranks. I experienced it in real estate. But again, you cannot stop me.
Won't be stopped.
I love it.
I love that. Obstacle slayer.
Yes. On my wall.
Yes. Hashtag obstacle slayer.
Yes, we are obstacle slayers.
Hey, that's the way we were trained. All of us have been trained that way. Otherwise, we couldn't have been where we are right now.
Right.
If we accepted any limitations.
Yes.
Yes.
So as
absolutely.
You meet them, you don't even, it's like, oh, I got to figure that out. No problem.
Yes.
I go to my mentors.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If it's over my head, I go to my sources like Dr. Mimms.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. The beauty is that you've been paid for. You've been paid for, so you don't have to do the kind of work that I had to do. Always know that you've been paid for. Just move from
That's
where.
right. That's right. We don't have to do that again. We don't have to relive that again.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to repeat it.
And like Josephine said, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
That's
we
right.
have a better team than that.
Favor, right?
That's right.
It's not, you don't have to worry about me, honey, and who I am, but know whose I am. You should know whose I am. Okay. I do belong to him. He said, touch the least of my little ones, even that Angelina who gets off track sometimes. Okay. So I absolutely understand that. I appreciate that. What do you ladies have going on? What do you have? Anything that you want to share? Can we highlight? Can we shout our work out?
I'm working on me. Hallelujah. I'm working on me, and I'm working on not getting caught up with what the world thinks is success and not getting caught up with where somebody else thinks I need to be. I have always been that person that says, that ain't what I want to do. I've always been that person, but there is a place right now where where purpose is more important than anything else for me. I don't know about nobody else, but purpose is more important for me, and it has to sit in a place where I'm trying to marry it like it's my name, right? Like I don't have to think about it. It's just who I am. It's what I do, and if by chance I connect with you, so be it. If not,
Okay.
what I'm not going to do is start worrying about. I had told a group I didn't start tripping until I started thinking about money. Because you can ask anybody in my family. They used to say, "Do you even know the value of money?" Yeah, of course I know the value of money. But guess what? Money answers everything, right? But it's not my source. So
absolutely.
I told somebody, I am loved. And I realize I'm loved. And when you understand how loved you are, you can't help but give love out. I am loved
Right.
with all my flaws. I'm loved with everything. I'm loved from people who heard about me, who met me, who's been in my life like y'all. I mean, I don't even remember when I met Carol, but I know she loves me. You understand?
Right.
I can say she can see me with a different look on my face and say, and reach out to touch me and say, "You okay?" See, I know I'm loved.
Preach, Josie, preach.
Anything else is not important.
Josie, Michael Graham.
Come on, Michael Graham. That's it. And I'm just saying, for me, I'm working on me to be the best me that shows up, that gives,
We're touching and agreeing.
that receives, that
Absolutely.
goes back. And when I go back, I'm not going back to say, "Oh, I did that," or "Oh, that's past." It's a continuum. So whatever I do, gotta touch something else. If it don't touch something else, I ain't doing the right thing. If it don't connect something else, I ain't doing the right thing. If I can't go back, and sometimes I ought to be, I'm just telling y'all this. I should be playing by the time I go back home so that I can replenish. I should keep everything up because tomorrow is not promised to me. So when I go to give, I ain't gonna listen to nobody no more telling me, "You know, you should hold back some of that. You giving out too much. You go ahead and do you." Because when it's all said and done, I remember Kurt Franklin wrote a thing that says, "When I die, what would they say about me? Will the work that I've done be enough to help someone? Will I draw all men to you at the setting of the sun? I want to hear you say, 'Well done.'" That's all everything else, I ain't for sale. Hallelujah. You can dangle some stuff in front of me, but I've taken before, and they were bad. I've taken bites of some forbidden things and they were bad. I've given it to other people and they were not good for them either. So what I'm going to do is stay in my lane. I'm okay with my lane. How about that? I'm okay.
That's right.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
To answer your question, Angela, the things that I'm working on are the things that will, I'm not going to say I hope, will better the world that I live in.
Oh, girl, right on. Right on.
Vania,
yes, I am working on, and first I want to say, Josie, yes, and more yes. Praise the Lord.
Amen. Amen.
Minister to us, and you inspire me to continue to grow in grace and in God. And what I'm working on personally is giving myself grace. And not being too much in the rat race. I have 2 young children, and before children, I was all over the place trying to do the art, trying to do this, I probably said yes to too many things, totally overbooked. And after my children, I became a little bit frustrated And now I'm in that space where I'm appreciating all that God has given me. And I'm giving myself space and grace to be a good mom, to continue my growth as a Christian, and to honor the art that God has given me on his time and in his time.
Yes.
Everything doesn't come at all at once. You have to pray, and you have to pray and work and listen, and be a good steward of what you have. And when you're a good steward of what you have, then he will continue to grow the rest. And so that's been so amazing to me to realize, you know what? It's not too late. I have beautiful children. I am blessed that I can still move. I can still dance for Christ. I'm really happy about that. And this is a segue into what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is finalizing my nonprofit, VC Bynum, Arts and Education. And we want the art to touch the mind, body, and soul. Threefold. And in a philanthropic way where we use our art to bring in funds to help other organizations who are serving our community. But we do it in all ways. And everybody knows I love hymns and gospels. And just like people get all kinds of music, right? And they just dance to it, and they in some cases worship it too much. But for me, what I want to do now is to inspire others through this work, but bring my spirituality right along in it, boldly and in a comfortable way. And that's where I am, and that's what I'm working on. I'm working on a project that I hope to do with the Sound of the Northwest that is going to honor our legacy in the Black church of our spirituals and our hymns, and creating a new suite of dance. So I'm working on the grants for that right now. And also finishing up my We Inspire Humanity project, where we brought artists together in the community during COVID. We rehearsed outside in my yard, and Josie was a part of that. Amazing work. And it was just when we were in Langston trying to social distance with our masks. What was so beautiful is that it was needed. It was really a service to the community, and people expressed how they were so touched and excited to be in communion with other artists of color in a positive way. No bickering, everybody in agreement. And Josie and her daughters ministered to us and her band while we performed and got that performance together. So we have more money that we brought in, and I'll be distributing that as I move on to the next project. So I'm just thankful. That's where I am. And go to www.weinspirehumanity.org.
We Inspire Humanity, www.weinspirehumanity.org.
Yes.
Awesome.
Keep your catchphrase, We Inspire Humanity.
That's it. Hashtag. Dr. Mimms, are you sharing anything with us?
I just get blown away when I'm on one of these Zooms, and I love, this is how I stay alive, is listening. And then I call Twanda and say, I want you to do that for me. Did you hear what so-and-so said? I want that. I don't know what to share. Just ask me what do you, I'm enjoying living. I mean, to be 93, I'll tell you, it's.
What did you think about your birthday piece? I know we just Dan and I clicked on, and he said, I was going to sing Happy Birthday to you. I would have sung it a little differently, not a Josie song, but I would put my best shower voice on for you. And then he was standing on the other side of my monitor and said, I want to sing Happy Birthday to Dr. Mimms. I said, come on, sing Happy Birthday. You'll notice his hair ain't done, nothing fancy. And then when we saw ourselves and honored to be a part of your virtual card, we thought she is going to be through. Like, didn't they think to prepare themselves? I said, you know what? Dr. Mimms is going to be fine with it. I just know that she's looking past all.
As long as I can, as long as you can sing it, I can, and I'm here, I can hear it. It doesn't matter how you look. I'm just shocked that I'm 93. I really am.
How come we're looking younger and younger?
I know. It's looking
You have to
amazing.
imagine what in order to age, you cannot have any negativity. You cannot see. Everything has to be positive. Everything. I mean, if you hear something bad, you have to turn it into something good. I mean, like I will tell a story from this today. I will say there were 6 of us on, and then I'll make up a story, and none of it may be true. None of it. See, it'll get me to the next Zoom. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to make up stories every day you wake up. You have to make up your own nursery rhyme about yourself and about your family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say I was trying to be Josephine, my version. And I sang my song to you, all right?
Hey, Carol.
I know the queen. I still tried my own daggone thing.
Carol, we saw you sing it.
For example,
your heart soul was in it.
Now, let me tell you what I'm thinking about. For example, earlier someone said, well, you can't read that on your tombstone. Right now, I'm thinking I am going to read my own tombstone. That's not going to be true. Twanda is going to have to figure out a way to get me up out of that grave.
On a Zoom.
Regal. She'll be regal. And
somebody's going to have to figure out that I got to get up in the middle of the night and read my own tombstone. Are you going to have some way?
I'm a scientist. I'm going to figure it out.
No, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a hologram. And we'll have the hologram come up of Dr. Mimms sitting at the funeral. Girl, it'll scare the living daylights out of everyone there.
We'll get right after that, right? That's funny.
See my own homegoing service. They said, no, you don't have all counts. Ain't nobody.
But you see, early, the person that's going to plan mine is Twanda.
Well, I'm planning my own as well.
Not going to allow. I know there's not going to be any negative anything.
That's
in charge of everything in all of my homegoing.
Mm-hmm.
A positive specialist.
The event of the season, right?
Well,
out that Dr. Mimms. So first off, I love you. I love you. And she has spoken into everyone's life, right? Well, she spoke into my life and then my daughter's life. And I remember going to your house, and I hope you remember this. We was with Doreen and all of them when we went to the house, and she was like, what are you trying to do? You know, she was going through. And I was at Dr. Mimms' house, and I kept, just running like a wild banshee. And I laid down. I slept for a whole day. Y'all hear me? A whole day had went out, and I woke up, wasn't nobody there. And my daughter, when I finally got up and we went to this casino to go eat. Mm-hmm. And my daughter has this compulsion, right? So we had brought her out there. She liked to clean up around stuff, and most times you ain't finished eating when she cleaning up. Dr. Mimms kept looking at her, and she kept looking. She said, sit down. Crazy. What's wrong? I know what's wrong with you. You're crazy. People here that do that. They get paid for that. You're busy trying to figure out what to do. You need to get a job doing this. And she just right? And it was the most endearing thing to Sha because she wasn't careful with how she dealt with her. My daughter learned to respect her because she was more like she was more like family when she spoke to her, not like all those other people that tried to speak to her with all this education and all this. Perhaps maybe it's she was just like, sit down. So she always gives it to us.
Oh,
you always give
Well,
it to
I learned a lot living in that space because when I bought it, I wasn't thinking about Black women. I was thinking about myself. And when you come out there, it's nothing you can do but rest.
Mm-hmm.
Black women don't like to rest. They like to clean and vacuum and do things. Just sit down and go to sleep.
And I slept, and I remember I was in the back. I mean, we were listening to the music. She said, listen to this. I started singing. She turned around, she said, shut up. Everything, just listen. And I see it, and I started singing. She's, like, be still. And that's what I needed. I needed to be still, but I didn't need it in a suggestion. Y'all hear me?
You needed a directive.
I needed
a directive. That's right.
That would be Dr. Mimms. She's going to always give it to you in a directive, in a direct way. No ifs, no buts, no in-betweens. We've been talking to, she turned 93. So we already start talking about her 95th birthday plans. And we want to rent a boat and just do a cruise around town for the 95th. So that's what we're stirring up. So we're going to be looking for sponsors because she got cheap friends. Okay.
Come on.
Okay, so we need some sponsors. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
I want to say thank you to you for for listening and knowing that people are individuals, and that's how you deal with people as individuals. And for each and every one, Angelina, I haven't had that much interaction, but everybody else on here has dealt with me as an individual. And that is really valuable, y'all. It's valuable that we continue to do that and not get caught up with how the world tells us we should deal with and stay so corporate that we don't know how to deal with human beings. It gets where you want to take a bath sometimes after you get away from other people. You be like, I feel slimy. I don't even know.
That's right.
All right.
Queens that are on here right now.
Thank you, Miss Josephine. Okay, did anybody else want to share what's happening in their world? Carol, the people's choice. If you're looking to sell, looking to buy, you're looking for people who are looking to buy, right?
Sell.
It's
a seller's market. Right, Angelina?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
But I also am looking for buyers, but selling is key right now.
Selling is everything, and your relationships that you bring about from there, because it's getting to be cliquey. You know
what? Cliquey in real estate? How is that possible?
Well, you know what? Obstacle slayers.
Hey.
Okay, there's a way around that.
Yes.
And it is about relationships and being authentic and really being sincere, because we don't want people to sell if they don't need to. However, if you're gonna, pick the right person to help with that process.
And someone that knows the actual industry. I'm not holding out for these new people that are coming in the industry. We train them, we mentor them, we give back and pull them forward. But bad advice is bad advice. You want a good contract and a person that's knowledgeable.
That's correct.
And I know you want to share something with the group and the public. Are you ready, Queen?
Yes. So I just wanted to share a little poem, because at this time it is so important for us to cherish one another and love one another, respect one another, and be okay with giving someone else the light, the praise. Share your light with others before they're gone. Yes, to all of my amazing women. If with pleasure you are viewing any work your sister is doing, if you like her or you love her, tell her now. Don't withhold your approbation till the parson makes oration and she lies with snowy lilies on her brow. For no matter how you shout it, she won't really care about it. She won't know how many teardrops you will shed. If you think some praise is due her, now's the time to flip it to her, for she cannot breathe until she's dead.
Okay. You know what? That's what I like about the phones. It rings, the bell rings right on time. Right on time. Thank you, Vania, for sharing that your inspirational words with us and letting us just know that it is important to give people their flowers and their props and their due while they are here and they are living. Angelina, what else you got? What else you sharing?
I am going to share a tip. I am actually a trainer with Bundy Real Estate Group, my husband, and I appreciate Rochelle Wilhite for having us and sharing with us. She has definitely been a support. But I'd also like to share a new journey that I've been on about 5 years, and that's the Advanced Documents, which is my paralegal work. So I'm a research paralegal, and I research for counsel. One of my biggest supporters and who inspires me is Terry Rogers Kemp. She's an attorney in the Northwest. Terry's awesome, and has inspired me to go on and be better than that I could be. And so I just want to say, if you need someone to research a ticket or a lot line adjustment or an HOA issue, Carol, we talked about that, then have it be so. I can be reached at researchbyangelina@gmail.com. And I just want to, from Daniel, for your poem and your words of wisdom and sharing, I just want to say, Carol, I am awesome. I mean, you are awesome. I am so enamored by the work you do in real estate. And I worked with you at the same banner, and I respect your business. And Twanda, you as well. You cultivate us. You bring us along and make Bundy Real Estate Group bigger than it could ever even be. So I appreciate you. Josie, we haven't interacted, and I don't call you up and say, "Hey, Queen, can you sing me something just real quick?" But it's the truth. I mean, I look at you, I feel like, Twanda, you've brought that out. I feel like I know you. Like you, oh yeah, that's my girl. I know her. And that's how I'm able to name drop Dr. Mimms. Oh yeah, I just know. Or the real, make me a real 9. I mean, I am one of the daughters of Dr. Mimms, and yes, I do come from a great legacy of women. The Hubbard women are absolutely fabulous, and I was inspired by tons of women in all sorts of arenas. So that's what I got going on. I'm still working on me.
That's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm going to close this out with what I'm working on. Believe it or not, Dr. Mimms and I do a project together every August. It's called Let the Strings Speak. And we partner with the twins, Mona and Lisa Terry. And one is a professional violinist, one professional harp, as well as piano. And every year we use the vibrations of the strings for healing, for connectivity. It's an intergenerational gathering. And so it happens in August. It's going to be on the 28th of August this year. And believe it or not, we're starting to plan it now. So where we really need support are dollars. People think going virtual is less, and it's actually more to plan a virtual event than a live event. So we definitely always need dollars. You can reach us at letthestringspeak.com. Yeah, .com. We did .com. So we're always doing fun things. And that's a brainchild of Dr. Mimms. She happened to be a dear friend of the late, great Miss Maya Angelou, Dr. Maya Angelou. And Dr. Angelou would have these gatherings where she would bring these wonderful people together, intergenerational. And so Maxine just picked that up and brought that to Seattle in this concert. And so I think all of you have been at least attendees at it, sponsors at it, performers at it. And if not, this year will be we'll have that opportunity. So that's a big project that I'm working on for August. I'm working a lot with ARTH because ARTH Ministries, African American Reach and Teach Health Ministries, we are about helping African Americans be healthy. Whatever that, we meet the clients where they are. And right now we are helping schedule COVID clinics in the community. We're doing a lot at New Beginnings Christian Fellowship Church, and which is awesome because we're able to go online. I created an online system as well as a scheduling system. So we have elders who can't get online. They want to be able to call and talk to someone. And we have that ability to listen to them, to get them signed up. I love it. I get to hear every story. I said, when I get to be, like, I always keep saying, when I get to be an elder, heck, I am an elder, you know? I am an elder. I think Dr. Mimms, well, and Carol, I'm right after them. So see, look at that. But I laugh because they always say, "Oh, Twanda, can you work with the elders?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, these are my peers." These are my peers.
You're a junior elder.
Girl, I don't know. Once you hit
elder in training.
Elder in training. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Elder.
So, but that's what we're doing. So it is very important. I think that the media has been misconstruing that Black people are hesitant about taking the vaccine. I think the truth is that there has not been adequate opportunity to take the vaccine. So Maxine got her 2 shots already, and she was at First AME Church when she got it done. And she said they could stick that needle in every crevice she got, but she wanted her shot. And, you know, so I'm always doing community stuff. And I work with all of you still, the Dan Bundy team. I'm with you here, Angelina and Dan, every Tuesday. Vania, we Inspire Humanity. Carol, I do work with Carol. Yes. And so I kind of laugh, but I got a call and someone asked me to do a virtual baby shower. And I thought, oh, that's going to be fun. So,
wow.
Yeah, we're going to get a comedian because, you know, this might be the last time that mama's got some real good gut laughter, honey, because she's going to be a little stressed. But we want to tell her about how stressful it is being a parent, but it's worth it. So if we can do that around laughter. So I'm just reinventing myself as the world moves through it and allow myself to be whatever that means, living life fully, joyfully, you know, not taking prisoners for anything, and just being me. I just get to be, you know,
not like you.
Hey. Well,
Thank you, everyone.
You know what? Can Josephine sing us out, Angelina? Can Josie sing us out?
Here we go. I see trees of green, red roses too. I watched him bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yes.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, warm, blessed days and dark, sacred nights. And I think to myself, ooh, what a wonderful world. Rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking, saying how do you do? All they're really saying is, honey, I love you. babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more. You and I will never know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world, yeah. And I think to myself, hey, woo, what a wonderful world. Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, visual. Thank you, sister.
Sisters, and look, we had a message from Dan Bundy to close us out. He said, "This is great. You did an incredible job. Blessings to you all." What a way to end the show. Thank you so much, everybody. Join us every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time for the Live with Dan L. Bundy team. Angelina, thanks for bringing us together. Love you.
Thank you.
We love you, Angelina. We love you.
Meeting.